Morning, everyone. Welcome to Compliance Over Coffee. There was a slight delay, apologies. Zoom wouldn't let me in. I had to reset passwords and everything. Technology is fantastic when it works, isn't it? Welcome to Thursday's Compliance Over Coffee. And I hope everyone's well, and I hope everyone's having a great week. Today, I wanted to talk to you about documents and legally required documents. Just let me get my coffee. And the fact that there seems to be some sort of confusion around the fact that everybody's documents can be copied by everybody else and everything will be absolutely hunky-dory and we're all absolutely fully compliant. And sadly, that isn't the case. And it doesn't make any difference where you get your documents from, by the way. If you've purchased some from me, you've got them from somewhere else, it makes not a jot of difference. Because you see, the problem is this. These documents, they're not just a ticker box. These documents aren't just to say, yes, I've got an AML policy in place, or I've got a data protection policy in place, or I've got some procedures in place. That's absolutely fine. I've got them there. My company name's on it. They're printed. They're in a folder. Fantastic. No, it isn't. And it's worrying that a lot of people are behaving like this and thinking that that's absolutely fine. And it's not fine just because the legislation says that it's not fine. It's not fine because it's your business. It's not fine because it's you that misunderstands that it's fine. And it isn't fine because it's you guys that, if you are inspected, might just fail and be given a heavy fine, which is far from being fine as far as I'm concerned, if you'll excuse the pun about fine and fine. So what's the issue with the documents? The problem is that documents that are provided, whether it's from us or whether it's from anybody else, are quite often either, they either sit in two categories. They're incredibly basic and neutral and say virtually nothing at all, or they're incredibly detailed, but for the company that they were originally written for. And that gives you a problem whichever way you look at it. If they're incredibly basic, you have to write in the detail that's required. If they're incredibly detailed, you have to read through the details and change it to fit how you work. And if you don't have an understanding as to how you should be working and what you should be doing, adding the detail can be quite difficult because you don't understand it in the first place. So having documents, but not understanding why they're used and what they're used for and what you need to have in them to understand that they cover you is a major hurdle for an awful lot of people. So let's break it down like this. You have to understand money laundering regulations to be able to adapt and change your documentation. If you don't know what HMRC are looking for, you will miss the point completely and possibly get heavily fined, and that isn't what we want. So even if you're not going to buy documents from me or from anybody else that knows exactly what they're doing, understand what HMRC are looking for. And that isn't watching a 5-minute video when you sign up for money laundering supervision, because that doesn't explain to you about timing of verification or due diligence, or what levels of checks need to be done, or low and high risk filtering, or red flags, or the fact that some strategies are higher risk than others. It doesn't cover that for you. So that knowledge is really, really key. Just having the documents and registrations in place probably isn't enough to keep you safe. Remember, when you started doing the job that you're doing, you didn't have the knowledge, but you built it up over a period of time. It takes that time to do it for sourcing, just the same as anything else, because sourcing is a business. It isn't a hobby, it's a business. And you're earning professional money from people that expect a professional service. So your documentation must be up to scratch for you to be able to stand up and say that you are a professional business. So have a look at the documentation that you've got. That means your policies, your risk assessment, your written procedures, and do they really reflect how you operate as a business? Does it really reflect what HMRC is expecting of you? So don't forget, wherever you get the documents from, they still need to fit in with how your business operates, and they must reflect minimum standards in the industry. So that's it for this morning. That's compliance over coffee. I'm going to go off now and finish my coffee, and then it's shopping morning with parents this morning. So I hope that was useful to you. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for listening in on Catch Up. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will be back with you next Thursday for more compliance over coffee as usual. Bye for now.